Hi, so today we have Dr. Neil Fletcher, a urologist from the Princess Margaret Cancer Center in Toronto, to talk about my concern as it relates to prostate cancer.
Hi, I'm Neil. Nice to meet you.
Doctor, I'm worried about prostate cancer because my grandfather passed away from prostate cancer. My father was recently diagnosed with prostate cancer. My brother was also recently diagnosed with prostate cancer. Can you tell me about the risk of me developing prostate cancer?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's probably quite significant. And the reason for that is simple. First of all, prostate cancer is a common disease. About 1 in 7 Canadian men are diagnosed with it in their lifetime. And then you have to layer on the additional risk factors that you have. Strong family history, as well as the fact that you have African ancestry. So those are 2 additional risk factors. I would think your lifetime risk is probably 50% or maybe even higher.
I hear about a PSA test. Can you tell me a little bit about this PSA test? What's a PSA test?
Yeah, PSA, it stands for prostate-specific antigen. It's a chemical that we just measure in the blood, a simple blood test, and it can be elevated in men with prostate cancer. And it's, again, a simple test to do, and it's generally recommended that high-risk individuals like yourself would get it once a year starting at about age 40.
That sounds great, but I'm worried about my other family members. What can they do to take necessary precaution?
We've learned a lot in the last 10 to 15 years about the role of genetics in prostate cancer risk. By genetics, I'm talking about the genes that you were born with, passed down by either your mother or your father. And in this case, probably the best place to start would be to do a genetic panel in one of the affected individuals, like your brother or your father, to see if they actually have the gene, and then we can go from there. But if their samples are unavailable, it's very simple to do. It's a saliva or blood test. We usually get the results in 6 to 8 weeks, and we could test for a panel of these known genes that may be the reason that you're at higher risk. I would say, though, even if you test a negative, you should still get tested because there's still a lot we don't understand about risk.
So is there actual cost to this genetic testing?
Actually, there is no cost for genetic testing in most provinces in Canada. OHIP, for example, or equivalents in other provinces would generally cover it as long as you fulfill the appropriate criteria. In your case, you would. Another common question I get is there any jeopardy? In other words, can there be any downside to knowing you have a risk? And fortunately, we have something in Canada called the Genetic Non-Discrimination Act. So if you are found to have one of these genes, you can't be, for example, given a higher insurance rate compared to somebody who doesn't have it, or you can't be denied an opportunity, for example, to adopt a child. So you can't be discriminated against based on your genetic risk in Canada.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I feel a little bit lighter today that I have this conversation with you because it gives me more knowledge that I didn't have before walking inside here today. Now I have more knowledge that I can actually go and educate those around me. So thank you so much.
Pleasure.